Hail you rock stars out there. This is Miljenko Matijevic of Steelheart. You are listening to Nothing Shocking Podcast.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking Podcast, a non-genre based, all ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
We're putting the band back together.
The numbers all go to 11.
I'm talking about bands that rock. Led Zeppelin. What about Sabbath? AC/DC. Motorhead.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I get up off the ground and raise my head. Days like this, think I should be dead. One for Satan, two for me. Let's cheat the devil, it's fun, don't you agree?
Welcome to the Nothing Shocking Podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeff Untied, and with me in Dog Bowl Studios is
Coach Nez.
You can find the Nothing Shocking Podcast on Libsyn or any podcatchers. Like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter at NoShockPod.
You can also find the Nothing Shocking Podcast on Rock Rage Radio every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. Our sponsor is Ragged Records, located in downtown Rock Island, Illinois, and downtown Davenport, Iowa. We'd like to thank the Hong Kong Sleepover for allowing us to use their music for our intro and bumper ending. Tonight's guest is Miljenko Matijevic
of Steelheart. Great band from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yes, they are releasing a, what are they releasing here?
They got a new album of new recordings. It's called Steelheart 30, celebrating 30 years of Steelheart, and it's got some songs that they've remixed, re-recorded, new versions. Everybody Loves Eileen. That's the new single.
Oh, it's great, too. So, hey, let's get to that interview.
All right.
Good night. Miljenko, welcome to the Nothing Shocking Podcast. I'd like to introduce to you my co-host, Jeff Untied.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey there. Thank you for having me.
You have a great publicist. We're so excited to have you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm just lighting a big cigar over here. Going to smoke a cigar and have a chat with you guys.
Fantastic. Right. So, hey, Steelheart recently re-released the new single, Everybody Loves Eileen. Can you talk a little bit more about the creative process of re-releasing the song?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, we wanted to do for the Steelheart 30th anniversary album. We wanted to re-record a bunch of songs, and we wanted to do it with, you know, a little more not exactly like the album, so to speak. You know, Everybody Loves Eileen is close to the album, but the full version has a whole breakdown, just like we do it live, and has a really live ending. So it's like a live/studio recording. It's got more edge, definitely more edge than the original. And I don't know, I like it. I think it's got more balls than the original. But the original is classic, so we can't knock that.
Oh, very.
Yeah, the process was pretty simple. I mean, you know, you lay down the drums and throw the guitars and bass on it. You know, actually the drums and bass live, and then you just start laying everything down and rock and roll.
Fantastic,
you know? The rest is easy. Yeah.
You know, we are recognizing more and more heritage artists like yourself that when you are releasing new music, you're releasing singles at a time opposed to releasing full albums or EPs. For you, the artist that you are, established artist, been around the business for a long time, where do you see yourself now when it comes to releasing new music? Do you see yourself going back to the album-oriented type stuff, or are you satisfied releasing singles at a time now?
You know, I like releasing singles at a time. I mean, ideally, it's wonderful to put out the album. You know, it's easy, it's less work. But that's not what today's world is. It's no longer that. You put out an album, it's gone in 4 weeks. It's gone. It was never even released. So you have to keep the momentum going, because now it's all about the AI. The Spotify, the Pandoras, the Apple, the Amazon, and so it's a machine, and you have to keep feeding that machine. That's the only way I can describe it. And, honestly, I had this record company for a long time, Steelheart Records. But in the last year, we built a really great team. And I can honestly tell you, I had not a clue what I was doing before that. Okay. The old days, yes, we all got that down. But what today's music world is and what the music business is nothing. What you know, just forget about it. Just throw it all out and go back to school. And I had some serious schooling this last year. And we have a marketing meeting every Wednesday, and we're always talking about new things that are coming out. And even, we're all trying to keep up with it all the time. So singles is the way to go. And you got to promote them. You have to make videos for them. You have to just do a lot of work, more work than I have ever done in my life, to be honest with you. Yeah. There's a beauty to it. There is a beauty to it. There's a power to it. But it takes a long time to really, get the machine rolling. And in order to be heard these days, you have to feed the machine. Probably I believe it's every 7 to 10 weeks you have to release stuff. So welcome to the new world, guys. It's a lot of work.
Exactly.
And all you guys out there listening in the music business, this is what it takes. Believe it or not, this is it.
Absolutely. Jeff, you got the next one?
Well, I guess to piggy on that, the last album, 2017, Through the Worlds of Stardust, that 2017 has been a little while. Do you guys, are you working on a new full length, or just going to continue on the singles?
Well, the Steelheart 30th album will be out in May, the end of May. The LP, because what I did is I did a compilation of all 10 songs of what the fans wanted, and we re-recorded "Everybody Loves Eileen." We re-recorded "I'll Never Let You Go," "Angel Eyes," and we did it as a duet. And it's acoustic. Oh, cool. It's really beautiful, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. We did "Mama Don't You Cry" with a 40-piece orchestra. We did "She's Gone." I rewrote "She's Gone" in a whole different arrangement, and it's just vocals, piano, and an orchestra, 40-piece orchestra. "Trust and Love" has a 40-piece orchestra. "We All Die Young," we did some of the guitars, remixed it, remastered it. So we did a lot of work on this album, and it's a compilation, full-length album. So the plan and the idea is we release all the singles, and then when "I'll Never Let You Go" comes out, which will be the single after the next,
nice, and
the video, and that's when we'll drop the LP and everything, and the whole album, everything comes out, because this is song number 4, I believe, 4 or 5, 4 of a release.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, you talked about the industry has changed drastically since you first started out in it. But, it used to be the band would release an album, you guys would go tour on it. And now it's totally different with, the releasing of singles on Spotify or whatever source you're releasing it on. What is the touring method now for Steelheart? Since it's releasing you're preferable releasing singles, but it's hard to tour off of singles. I guess where's the mindset is for you when it comes to touring? Is it like a Heritage Act coming to town, or do you guys still try to focus in on the newer material? I guess how does it work for you guys?
Yeah, it's a bit of both, and that's why this album, why I did. I'm having the past, bring in the past, but bring it to today. So we're relevant today as well. So it's not just the old style, that we're doing constantly, should I say. And when we go touring now, it's we play the old hits, but we also start introducing the new stuff. So it's a bit of both. And the focus is to build the brand, get the younger generations to hear what we've done in the past and what we're still doing. The heart has never been gone. I mean, the fire is still as hot as ever. I don't even know what to do. I can't even think straight if I'm not doing music, So it's, it's like this, I don't feel Steelheart has ever gotten there 15 minutes. My accident really cut everything short and abruptly. And it took a long time to, keep going and rebuild to this space, And right now, our goal is just to keep giving the fans more music, different styles, whatever it takes, because that's what we do. We make music, and we want to reach the old fans. We want to reach their children. We want to reach new fans, because I feel there's, if there's heart in music, there's people who want to hear it. So that's what we're doing, and we're going to keep going. And I feel good. I feel good about it. It feels solid. I never felt better about my music and my team and the way everything is working. It's been a long time since I've had this really good feeling. I got a big team, and everybody is really working together as a big family, and that is key.
Oh, yeah, fantastic!
I know that's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the other guys in your band?
Yeah. So we got Joe Pescia. He's the guitar player. Fantastic guitar player. Great guy. Funny. So Mike Humberg, he's been with me for 18 years now, the drummer. And he is just beyond rock solid. Kevin Chown is now playing bass. He's been definitely a bass player, veteran, played with a lot of famous artists. And myself. And again, the same thing, the crew. It's interesting, the Steelheart crew and the Steelheart team, whatever you want to call it, the record company, all that. It's so easy. When we go to do shows, we get excited. We see each other, we say hello, we have something to eat, we do the show, we have a couple of drinks, we have dinner after, or we have drinks. So it's a really easy, the guys that I have in the band right now are just gentlemen, and it's easy, and I love that.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice.
I wanted to bring this back to Everybody Loves Eileen. Once again, you took a song, yours, and you made it yours again, and it's so modern sounding. It sounds
like a new song.
Yeah, it sounds like a brand new song. But I guess the question would be, after all these years of Steelheart yourself, what has kept you to stay the course and stay true to your sound and never really waver from being trendy or anything like that?
Well, I mean, it chooses you. It's interesting when you record something and you listen to it, and if it's not right, it's just not right. But you know what? Everything I record, I focus before I do that, because I really don't want to go to work and go down the wrong road and then go, that sucks. You know what I mean? So it's just being, I guess, honest to yourself. I mean, what else is there? I mean, I love all kinds of music. Don't get me wrong. I mean, really do. And Steelheart is a certain sound, and that's what it needs to be. It needs to be true to that sound. It could change a bit. It could be more modern. It could be, but it has to have that core energy. And that's what I like doing, and I could take the past, let's bring it to today, but still has the energy of that past. That's the beauty. So this way we don't leave all the fans behind, that really grew up with us, kind of thing, and gave us the support throughout the years. We don't want to forget about them, but we got to bring it up to be more relevant as well. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you got a pretty powerful voice, and you hit some pretty high ranges. Have you ever had a moment where you just had trouble with your voice or got sick before a show, or how do you push through it?
Oh man, I mean, I've had shows. I've had doctors come to my hotel room to give me shots in my butt just to get through the shows. I would be so sick I couldn't even talk. And it's like, you know what? Show must go on. The show must go on. There's many times before I'm going on stage, I'm like, oh shit, I can't even talk. And I gotta do this. And what happens when you get out there and you start doing, it's like, you got to figure out a whole nother way to sing.
Yeah.
You know, and hey, that's part of what you do. But I've always, and knock on wood, thank God, thank life, if you want to look at it, always had a good show. Always came out. I came through, sick or not sick, I came through. So I give it 150% every night. No exceptions.
Yeah, I've listened to or watched interviews with Rob Halford and David Coverdale, and if they're having throat issues or sore throat issues, they have a certain herbal tea, something that they drink before a show. Do you have a certain remedy that you use to, if your throat is just not quite where you want it?
I drink a ton of water. I work out. I stretch before shows. Jacuzzis, and it is a constant hot tea and honey. It is a consistent all day long, every day. That's the only thing that always keeps the throat, soothing. And that's why I always chew gum. I mean, it looks sometimes a little crazy on stage, but you know what? It's for me because when I chew gum, it gives me all the juices. You know what I mean? It keeps it moist.
Oh, very good.
So that helps.
Oh, very good. Well, I wanted to bring this back to promotion. Steelheart has recently developed Steelheart TV. Can you give our listeners a little bit more about the specifics about Steelheart TV and what's all in it?
Well, what's in there at this time? We have so much more footage to upload. We have stuff that even like little TV series that we started. There's so much, and it's basically one step at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and to keep it all going, it's a focus, And the Steelheart TV, what we did do is we uploaded all the past backstage stuff, some live concerts, just interviews. There's a plethora of just fun things to watch of Steelheart past up to now, and then as we're growing and as we're going, we have 3 concerts that we need to cut, like a 30,000 seat concerts that we did in Korea. Was a Sweden Rock Fest we had. We have several other ones that we did. Dallas. Forgot something else. So we have that. So it's a constant, how would you say, just fun information, fun videos. And, I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. I think you just go on there and check it out. Everything you can want to know about Steelheart is there. And things that you can't get anywhere else, you're going to get there.
Oh,
and that's what we're focusing on, building the Steelheart TV, where all the video is going to go on there. Everything's going to go there. Everything just, Steelheart is just, that's the mothership. And you want to see anything I do, go there.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Steelheart has also updated its merch store at steelheartstore.com. Can you talk a little bit more about the development of the merch store, and how has the development in comparison to what the band had previously?
What we had previously was just nowhere near to what we have now. I mean, we worked hard on building the store. I wanted something sleek. I wanted something that looks, where the brand can be, the Steelheart brand could be a brand on its own, not just the band, And we started, we had some great T-shirts. I don't know if you looked. I got these leather jackets. I got a great moto jacket that we created, and then I have the old original Steelheart jacket with all the studs on it.
Yeah.
You can get one of those, and everything's handmade, like legit leather. It's not. I don't do anything, halfway. I do everything right, or I don't do it. And we started into the jewelry side, and we did develop this beautiful ring. It's a little pricey, but it's a real deal. And now we have some bracelets that's coming out now. It's finished. That we're going to put out there, some necklaces, bracelets. We're just growing every which way and having fun with it. That's it. I mean, the store is, go check it out. Anything you want, from Steelheart, you got the albums, you got all the music, and now the new album coming out, the LP, and great T-shirts. I mean, everything on it, just so you guys know, nothing is done like cheap. Nothing is done just, let's just do this so we can make a few dollars.
Sure.
It's not what it is. Everything's priced to be fair. All the baseball hats are either Richardson's or New Era, so they're all top of the line hats. And yeah, that's it. I just want people to be able to enjoy them and actually afford them too.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Some of our listeners might not know that you have worked with South Korean TV series and soundtracks. Can you talk a little bit about how you got involved with that?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of TV drama stuff, for music there before. But in 2017, I believe, I was the first international artist ever to do what they call the King of Masked Singers. And here they brought it here now from Korea, the Masked Singer.
Yeah.
So I was the first international singer to ever do that in Korea. And so I was, they're called Bunga Man. I was Lightning Man. And that was my mask. And so I came in there and I started, I did what I do. I did 3 to 4 songs. But I sang 1 in English, I sang 2 in Korean.
Cool.
And I needed to learn 1 more in Korean to be able to actually win. There's just no way I could have learned 3 Korean songs in a month and a half. But I did the other 2 in a month and a half, and no one could tell it was me that I wasn't Korean. So it was amazing.
That's cool.
Accomplishment. And when I took my mask off, it was wonderful because everybody just freaked out. They weren't ready for me to be the guy, And then I mean, it was a crazy day. A quick story. I mean, literally was there at 5:30 in the morning, and they put you in a room because no one can see your face. You know what I mean? It's really hush hush kind of situation, right? And when I go to the bathroom, I had to put the mask on. Right? It was sitting in this room. I'm like, oh, guys, all right, you're up. Oh shit. Okay, let me get ready. And then I go sing. Okay, you win. Okay, great. I go back to the room. Now I'm sitting hours and hours and hours again. Okay, you're up again. And then literally, so the first time I went up was 2:00. The next time I went up was 10:00.
Oh, wow.
At night. Exactly. So then I sing again, and then I win, and then I had to sing again. So they filmed everything in one day. So, it's the waiting and all of that really, catches up to you a little bit. But we got through it. We definitely made a big bang, and it was an amazing experience. And the next show I did was the Olympic Stadium.
Oh,
also in Korea. Yeah, with and that was also the first international artist ever to join a K-pop festival, which was at the Olympic Stadium. So.
Oh, very cool.
I know. That's awesome.
Some of Steelheart's music has been remixed in the EDM realm. Can you talk a little bit about that? It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a whole EDM. There's a whole EDM of me that is about to emerge. I've been doing EDM since literally 1990. Not EDM. Let's say there's house, there's progressive house, there's some EDM, there's dance. It's EDM is just one style of that, music. So, we got a bunch of songs. Trust and Love is one of them, and that'll be released when this movie comes out. I don't know if you guys know about this movie we just did, this feature movie.
No. Go ahead and tell us about it.
Yeah. So actually, tomorrow we're going to see the screening, and it's finished, and. What happened is that they were making a movie, and the director wanted to hear my songs. So I played him a bunch of the songs, and he loved all of them. And then I finished it off with Trust and Love. And when he listened to the last one, he goes, "You fucking prick! You saved the best for last, didn't you? I go, well, yeah. For this movie, I know what the movie's. I know what it needs, you know? Anyway, so long story short, we're sitting there listening. He goes, I got to have the movie. I don't care, whatever it is. I got to have the song. Sorry. And we're like, okay, good. And he looks at the producer, the writer who wrote the movie. He goes, Jimmy, why don't we just call the movie Trust and Love? I mean, that's what it's about. It's about love. It's about let's go. Done. So now the movie's called Trust and Love.
Oh, cool.
So it's exciting. I got 7 songs in a movie.
Wow.
I also act in it. And I got the whole band in it. So Steelheart's in the movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a really fun movie. Fun, happy movie. You guys are going to love it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Well, as we look at, or as you look at, I should say, Steelheart's 5 studio album, 1 EP discography, can you look at those albums and say, this album was my favorite, and maybe this other album right here is one I wish I could redo? Do you have those albums that you have a favorite and one you're like, man, I want to get back in the studio and redo that album?
Yeah, nah. No, once it's done, it's done. You leave it alone. You give it that energy, I would say, I would remix maybe a couple of songs off the Good to Be Alive album.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. But everything else is, you got The Worlds of Stardust. I think that was a beautiful album.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of my best albums I ever made. And that one nearly killed me, to be honest with you. Literally. I'm not even joking. It was just the way it worked out. I didn't want to produce it, but just the way things, the chips fell. All of a sudden, here I am producing, engineering, the writer. It was way, way too much. Mm. And it took a lot out of me. 14-hour, 15-hour days, Mm-hmm. And I got sick through it. In the middle of it, I got really sick. And we filmed all of that. And this is part of the Steelheart TV. We're going to put that all up, all in segments. So, this is the stuff that's going up on Steelheart TV. In the future, by the way, for Steelheart TV, I would love to see how we grow. I would love to take bands that are really working, that are good, that just could need a little love. Yeah. I'd love to put them on it, just throw it up there. Everybody, just create a new MTV, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And just share the love and see how we can all grow together.
Very good. Jeff?
Well, I know a couple years ago, Great White redid Once Bitten like acoustic. Have you ever thought about taking an album and redoing it acoustic, or taking maybe your hits and doing them acoustic and releasing it as an album?
Absolutely. Well, we just did. As I'm saying, this album, when you hear this, you'll understand. It's like,
okay,
yeah, legit. Yeah, Angel Eyes, I'll Never Let You Go is beautiful. And I sang it with a young female, and I'll tell you right now, the female is my daughter, and she killed it.
Awesome.
Yeah, she did an amazing job. We were going to do it with another artist, famous artist, and as we're growing, time's ticking, and she's on tour, and this is happening, and then management, and it just becomes complicated, So we, I called my daughter literally when I was on a flight, and I booked her a flight, and I told her, hey, you want to sing this with me? And she's like, yeah, hey, don't kid around, man. Don't do that to me. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm not kidding. I would love, would you give me the honor to come join me with my daughter? And she's a great singer, And she goes, oh my God, I would love to do it. When do you want to do it? I said, tomorrow.
That's cool.
Mind you, this is midnight on the East Coast, and she goes, okay, done. And as soon as she said okay, I already sent her the ticket, so I already bought the ticket on the plane. So it's a beautiful story, and I look forward to you guys. This is the acoustic version.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it.
Right, and Mama Don't You Cry. It's just piano, vocals, and a 40-piece orchestra. So is She's Gone. It's just piano, vocals, and 40-piece orchestra. So those are the big remakes. Really, it was intense. They're beautiful. I think they're beautiful. So,
well,
we shall see.
This brings me to the next question. Yourself as the songwriter, opposed to your in the now, opposed to the early years of your songwriting, do you feel as though that you've changed much as a songwriter, or do you feel like your writing now is more mature, or is it pretty much status quo from the get-go with you?
No, I've definitely grown. Look, you got to live to be able to write. I mean, I can write songs, pop songs, just say, hey, baby, call me on the telephone, or whatever you got, We all heard those, and they do work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but the stories, the depth, if you want to hear anything about me, where I was at the point of time, read the lyrics, But it's about the story. It's about either something I lived or my friends have lived, that, people around me or the world that I see has lived that needs a story, and you got to be able to see it. In order to write it, you got to understand it. You got to know what you're writing about, right? So that's how I do it. It's just, and the old days, right? Bands didn't just bang out albums. Sometimes they took 3-4 years to release another record.
Right.
Why? Because what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Nothing happened. You know what I mean? Well, what happened? I don't know. Nothing. All right, when some tragedy happens or love happens or whatever, then all of a sudden, okay, things start developing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
I read back in 2010 you did a tour with Ray Manzarek and Robbie Krieger of The Doors. Can you talk a little bit about that experience? And
absolutely, that was amazing. That was what a gift. What an honor. What I did is I was looking for a manager, and my attorney set me up with Tom Bottorino. He was managing the Doors for a long time, since I believe 1990 something. And when I met him, he looked at me and goes, "You know what? I'm manager's band. It's a pretty famous band. They sold about 80 million records. We're looking for a new singer. Would you be interested in, auditioning?" I go, "Who's the band?" I said, "Well, The Doors." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot." And what was interesting about this, though, I kid you not, I would say about a month and a half before my meeting, I knew I was going to do something really different than what I'm used to doing, with the rock.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something different. And as soon as he said The Doors, I go, there it is. It's done. I know I'm going to be doing this. And sure enough, I went in. I sang one song, sang another song. Robbie's like, sing another song. Can we do another one? They didn't want to leave. They didn't want to let me leave out of the rehearsal. And the one that kind of sealed it was Light My Fire. And it's the end, fire, that last scream that Jim does. So, well, that's what I do. So it wasn't, that difficult for me. And when we finished it, Robbie came to me and goes, no one could ever do that last note like that. That's really good. Okay. So till this day, Robbie and I are friends. And he's a beautiful person. I love him. Ray as well. God rest his soul. I mean, we had an amazing tours. We did the United States and Europe, and every night it was just magic. It was standing ovations. It was magic. It was a gift, and I'm happy I did it.
Oh,
I redid a couple of the Doors songs in house vibe. So there you go. There's one of this. It's really good. So.
Well, as we're on to that, "L.A. Woman" is my favorite Doors song. Challenges of singing that song live, did it come pretty easy to you, or was it a challenge?
Nah, it was okay, but I got to tell you something. What people really don't understand, people say, Jim is not the greatest singer. And it's like, really? Obviously, you're not listening closely. Because there's some interesting, you got to sing.
Yeah.
You got to sing. There's some, it's not just wham bam. Got this covered. It's deep. It's lyrically, it's deep. Emotionally, it's deep. And there are some, what's challenges of vocals as well. I did all right. It wasn't difficult for me, but when you're doing 25 songs a night, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't care if you're singing lullabies. It's like, oof, you know what I mean? It catches up to you, and the travel and everything else. You know what I mean? But it was it worked out great.
Oh, so cool. Well, We All Die Young was originally released in 1996, and the question I have for you in both instances with Steelheart's version and then Steel Dragon's version from the movie Rockstar, that song is so electric and it's such an important song. I just don't understand how that song never went crazy up the charts to sort of number one, because it's such an incredible song. Do you feel as though that maybe like the industry with the love of nu metal at the time kind of held that song back a little bit?
No, not at all. Let me tell you what happened. Here's the nitty gritty.
All right.
Okay, so we did the movie, Rockstar, and I wasn't allowed to tell the world or anybody anything that it was me singing. Okay, and that was a big hush situation. So the first week it came out, that weekend, it was number 2 in the box office. It was a bang. It was a smash. It was a win. Everybody was excited. Now, the focus, the concept was, we're going to put the movie out, we're going to put the singles out, and then the real band's going to come out. Me, Jason Bonham, Jeff Pilson. Okay, then we're going to actually tour. That was what we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, so Sunday was the movies. That week, We All Die Young was going to radio. Warner Brothers put an enormous amount of money, promotion into the song and into the video. Without a doubt, that song, we all feel, would have done something really amazing. It was perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was perfect. And then one thing happened that ruined it all. It ruined it all for a lot of people. And that was 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
When 9/11 happened, George Bush said, nothing on the radio with the word die, blood, kill, anything negative is not allowed on the radio. That just ruined the whole campaign, ruined the movie, killed the movie. It ruined everything. That's what happened. So now, me re-releasing We All Die Young, we have given it a lot of energy, and we're going to re-release now another version of the 360 version, the Atmos version.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So I agree with you 100%. That song is not dead. I feel it hasn't even been heard with the younger generation or just the masses. Let's just say that. So we're going to keep on that, and we're going to keep pressing on that, because I agree with you. It needs to be heard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For the right reasons, for the right reasons, not, how would I say, not egotistical or whatever have you. I just feel it really needs to be out there.
Brilliant song.
I was reading you have a tour coming up. I think you got some shows coming up in July. Can you talk a little bit about stuff you have going on for touring this summer?
Yeah, there's a bunch of songs, bunch of shows that are what's the word, already on the books, but they haven't been posted yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the July shows. Hey man, it's just rock and roll, straight up. Steelheart's always, full on 150% rock and roll, and playing new stuff, old stuff. I don't know what else to tell you. Just come to the show.
Get out there and see them.
Take your shirt off, whatever you got to do.
So exciting. We have one last question for you, and then we'll leave you alone for the evening. Deal?
No problem.
So I asked this to all of our artists. The mystery of rock and roll. You were part of it back in the 80s. You knew bands had mystery. But the dawning of the internet and social media, there's no longer any mystery or mystique in the rock and roll business anymore. So for you, as the artist and as the fan, what do you prefer? The mystery that what rock and roll used to be, or do you like this new dawning of accessibility with artists now?
It's the mystery. I mean, this right now, this is crazy what it's become. It's like, again, I keep arguing, fighting for the artists always. I'm always fighting for my fellow artists, the true artists, the people who write. They write because they're messengers, they're like Buddhas. There's messages coming through them and they're giving it to the world.
Yeah.
And those people and those artists are now stifled. There's so many gems and beautiful, intelligent writers and singers and all of that, and they're not heard because the insanity of what today is to get a song out is so vast and it's so difficult. You need a team. You need a team that can help you build it, because artists, it's not their job to do Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It is ludicrous what it's become. I'm telling you, I'm an established artist. I've never worked harder in my life. Okay. It has lost the authenticity. And the reason what I'm saying this is that anyone can write a song in their bedroom or whatever have you and post it and put it up on Spotify.
Yep.
There's 120,000 songs a day uploaded to Spotify.
Yeah.
That's not fair. That's not fair to the people who are, I feel like, I don't know, we should do some sort of a police thing or something, I'm not, please understand, I'm not disrespecting anybody who writes great music. I'm just talking about people who really who are chosen to do this. They need the help, they need the support to be able to get through this. Because, real artists, it's like, oh my God, I'm not going to sit here and learn, marketing now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to be a marketing master genius. I didn't sign up to be like, now I'm going to spend all day to make one TikTok video. It's like, what? It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's insane. People think, but even the stupid things I do, it's like the ukulele thing. Yeah, but I still got to learn it. I got to figure it out. I got to write it, and then I got to film it and record it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is. It truly is.
So anyway, the mystery. Yes, to answer your question.
Very good. Well, we're out of our allotted time for the evening. Is there anything that we left off tonight that you would like to plug or promote?
I would say probably, but I would say the most thing that I would say to you right now, the LP that's coming out in, I would say probably end of May. We haven't given it the exact, we got to figure out when Angel Eyes is going to be dropped, and we're going to put that together. The digital, it's going to be the digital release, the LP release, and the video and song for I'll Never Let You Go. That's what we're going to do. And in the LPs, and only 500 of them are signed and numbered, and we have in there the Millie Wonka gold ticket. Okay. Yeah, I put in a Millie Wonka gold ticket, and one lucky winner is going to get a prototype Ovation guitar. A prototype.
Oh, wow.
Not just an Ovation. There's only one made, and that's it. A prototype. There's backstage passes. There's shirts. There's all kinds of stuff. And then there's also a silver one. So I hope people will enjoy that. A little fun, a little fun of like old school marketing.
That's cool.
Fantastic. Well, this is how things are going to work out. Once Jeff, the editing wizard over here, gets everything cleaned up, we'll get it to your PR people immediately. And please share wherever you can. Well,
absolutely. We'll put it right on Steelheart YouTube. I mean, we can put that on there too. I mean, we're growing. We're growing. The Steelheart brand is growing. Well, so we'll have to share. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
It's been an honor.
You got it.
Take care.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
nest of snakes. Everybody grinds the stone and makes their own mistakes. Hide in the headlights, fight the grip of fear. You can make your dreams come true, but you just can't do it here.